Hey, Golden Eagles, it's time to talk. I'm your host, Tahiti Salinas, and I'm here with my co host, Marisa Martinez, and our guest, Diana Chavez. For those of you who don't know, I am the managing editor for the University Times. Marisa Martinez is the digital editor for the University Times and the station manager for the Golden Eagle Radio. We are also joined by Diana Chavez, the ASI president. Time to Talk is a show that brings together Golden Eagle Radio and the University Times under one umbrella to discuss campus news and issues, campus sports, entertainment, and anything else that connects back to Cal City LA in some way. For this episode, we will be getting to know Diana Chavez and her plans for her presidency during our first online-only semester in the midst of a pandemic.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, of course. It's really great to have you on our episode. Well, let's get talking about what you're gonna have on your ASI presidency. So, for those who may not know, how would you sum up what ASI does for the students?
So ASI is the student government at Cal State LA, and what we do is we represent the students' bodies and interests. So we represent students' bodies, interests, and priorities to our university community and stakeholders. That's pretty much the brief summary what I can say. So we work with at a community, state, and federal level of all advocacy system-wide involving CSU students.
Nice, that's great that you guys are advocating for all the students and making sure that everybody's being heard in that sense. So, in terms of past experiences, what experiences in your past semesters as an ASI representative have prepared you the most for your presidency?
Yeah, so I've been in ASI since 2018, and I started off as a sophomore. So I've had some type of experience, quite experience in ASI, but nothing prepared me for for this year. We are all facing unique challenges, and what I'm doing personally is taking certain experiences when I was in ASI back in 2018, and tailoring it a little bit to this current situation that we are in. Pretty much what I'm doing right now is I'm still continuing to focus on keeping the students and campus community up to date on current issues, and it's ASI since 2018. I have been transparent, and I have been a liaison, between students and the university administration on issues that pertain to students. So that's something that I'm continuing this academic year.
All right, that's so great. Sorry about that. If you're just joining us, you are listening to Time to Talk, a show about Cal State LA news and issues. Today, we are getting to know ASI President Diana Chavez. And right now, we pass it on to Marisa Martinez, my co-host.
Thanks, Tahiti. Technology, man. Okay. So it's going to be our first semester online. What issues are you personally hoping to tackle with that in mind?
So there's a couple of issues that we are all facing. One is straight out the bat, this virtual learning. For many of us, virtual learning, it's not something that that we can, tackle on this semester. One, I think that this virtual learning is an accessibility issue. Some students don't have laptops, some students don't have Wi-Fi. We need hotspots and stuff like that. And we relied on Cal State LA on campus, to use the Wi-Fi, to use their computers that the library provides to us. So this virtual learning is one issue. It's an accessibility issue. And I do plan on trying to tackle this. And the way I'm taking it is, I want to collaborate, or we're collaborating with the dean of students. I know the university had bought laptops, and are allowing students to borrow laptops from the dean of students office. And they're also, giving out Wi-Fi and hotspots. So I want to continue, providing that opportunity for students, that allow them to borrow laptops, that allow them to borrow the Wi-Fi's or the hotspots, so we can ensure that they will, succeed through this virtual learning, through this challenge that we're going through. And another challenge I do foresee this academic year is, I guess, for many of us, um, the school was a distraction away from home, and being at home, being here, trying, not be able to go out because we're on lockdown. It's taking a mental toll on all of us. So I want to make sure that above all, our mentality is, at a, what's the word? At a I'm looking for a word. I'm sorry. Our mentality is like at a stable, state, and we're not, we're not going, we're going through anxiety, we're going through stress, and I want to make sure that all of us, are not going through that when we start fall semester. And although many of us will, I want to make sure that our university is providing, counseling, whether they're workshops or psychological. Appointments and stuff like that. So I do want to tackle that as well. I want to make sure our students are mentally stable before we continue through this through this virtual learning. And there are several other issues I do want to tackle, because many of us prefer on-campus events and on-campus, relationship building, connection, stuff like that. And that's something that we're not all able going to do. We're all at home or wherever we are, and we're meeting each other on through Zoom. So I do want to continue that I guess that advocacy through online, whether it's through Zoom meetings, whether it's social media. That's another issue that I do want to tackle, is continuing that advocacy, but obviously making it online.
And what there have been concerns for students about tuition and how they believe it should be lower because of online classes. Is there any help that ASI can provide for students, or some clarification?
Yeah, so I do have some clarification that I can provide to you all. So the thing is, I know many of us some students have come up to me about tuition, there's a survey going on and stuff like that, and includes tuition and fees. And many students have mentioned and concerned that they want tuition and fees to be lowered. Now, I cannot speak on all fees because all the fees are quite different. You have the student success fee, you have the student health center fee, you have the ASI fee, right? So, I can speak on my ASI fee because I know how we handle it and stuff like that. But I can give you a broad answer for the other tuition and fees. So there is no plan in lowering it. It's the tuition. It's what's the word? Let me get my notes out. So the tuition is state handled pretty much, right? It is the the CSU Board of Trustees are the ones who, pretty much say, this is a tuition for this college, for this university. And they have no plans in discounting tuition. And if students do want to, advocate, lower tuitions, it would be a conversation, between the university president and the board of trustees. Now, the way fees are handled is, so there's quite a few fees, and, in total it ranges like around 3,900. Don't quote me on that. I don't know the full, but it's around the 3,000. So the fees, there is no planning in lowering that either. We're all still going through, these difficult times, and, the student health fee, the student success fee, all the other fees that's mentioned, that's provided, we're still providing them services. We're still providing student services, whether it's, virtual. or online or anything like that, you know. For example, and I'm only going to speak on ASI. You know, ASI, we're still continuing to, you know, represent students. And although we're not on campus, we're still meeting with university administrators through Zoom meetings. We're still, you know, providing certain programs and certain events through Zoom meetings, right? So we're still funding, you know, we're still funding clubs, we're still funding student organizations, but it's all virtual. So our advocacy and our, you know, our priorities to, you know, represent the student body's interests is still there. Now our fee, and like I said, I can only talk on ASI. The reason why we cannot lower the ASI fee is because we are in a Taylor system. So we use the Taylor system in ASI, which essentially means that if we decided to lower our, you know, ASI fee, it won't be affected this administration. It'll be affected the next administration, because the way we handle our fees is that, so the previous administration set a budget, and this administration, which is now, will be utilizing that budget that the previous administration, you know, set. So it's the same thing. So we say, you know what, lower the tuition, I'm just kidding, lower the ASI fee. We, you know, it won't be lowered this semester, this year. It will be lowered the next one, because that's the way our budget works. Now, I don't know if that's the same for all the other fees, but I know that for a fact that all the other, you know, fees and all the other like whether it's a student health fee, whether it's a student union fee, they're still providing programs. They're still providing some type of, you know, whatever they do, whether it's health services, whether it is, you know, the gym providing, you know, virtual yoga classes or anything like that, you know, they're still there. Those services are still there. It's just virtual. So I can say this: Cal Lake does not plan to lower tuition and fees at the end of the day.
Thank you. Third question on this: how has the pandemic affected how ASI functions? For the University Times, we've clearly gone solely digital. We don't have our print production anymore. For your regular workday, like, how has it affected how ASI connects with each other and gets their work done?
I'm very happy about this new administration. We're all very strong, and I really do appreciate all of them. You know, it's different because when we were on campus, you know, we would go to our office and we'll greet each other, we'll say hi, hey, you know, we'll have those, you know, small little conversations. And, you know, at that, you know, for some students, for myself personally, those conversations meant a lot to me. You know, you get to meet new people. You know, you get to talk to them, you get to be, you know, intimate with them, and you meet new friends, you know, and in a virtual setting, it's different, you know, it's just a little bit different. And you know, I'm very happy that all of us are still, you know, in a good spot. And, you know, we're going through trainings, you know, we've been in trainings all summer long. We got to know each other, you know, and it was great. And the way we're tackling this is, although we're not on campus, we're not in our office, and we can't, you know, ask each other questions, you know, when we're there, you know, we're really utilizing Zoom meetings, just like everyone else. It is a little bit of a challenge, because we can't, you know, personally talk to students and get their concerns and, you know, figure out what, you know, what's the issue. And it's all through like social media, you know. So I did advise my, you know, my ASI, like, hey, you know, be using your social media, go out there, you know, because now these days, you know, everything's on social media, whether it's Instagram, Twitter. For those who still use Facebook, it's Facebook. You know, we're all still using social media, and surprisingly, many of our ASM members are comfortable using, you know, their personal Instagram accounts to advocate on behalf of students, reaching out to students through DMs or anything like that. You know, and I think that's how we're doing so far. We're doing pretty good, you know, and that's how we're tackling it. And, you know, the challenge is just, you know, being able to sit in one spot for the whole day, you know, and it's draining. It's physically and mentally draining, you know. when you're on campus, when we're in office, we're able to walk around, go down the first floor of the student union, walk to Starbucks. And now we have to sit for a long amount of hours, and it's just mentally and physically draining. So I always make sure that we have breaks between our trainees. I always remind them, hey, stay hydrated, eat, don't be afraid to eat in front of the camera, so that's just the way we're doing it. And I guess it's one of the biggest challenges, making sure that they're still focused through this virtual learning, these virtual trainings, or these virtual meetings, because it can't get mentally and physically draining. So I always make sure we have our little breaks. Maybe in those breaks, do handstands or do cartwheels, introduce something new and different, so they can continue to be alive in our virtual meetings.
Yeah, we have at the UT specifically, like one thing I miss the most is our coffee breaks, and that was like our way of like getting up and like taking a break, walking around. And I'm sure that's probably mirrored for you guys, because I saw you guys a lot at like the Starbucks and like the cafeteria, and you get to connect with students that way, right? Yeah. And that's how you guys would do it. So yeah, it's got to be different now, utilizing social media more than actual face-to-face interactions. So weird, this pandemic. And very frustrating in many ways. If you're just joining us right now, welcome. This is Time to Talk, the first attempt at a Golden Eagle Media podcast that brings together the University Times and Golden Eagle Radio to address campus topics and issues. I'm Marisa Vasquez. I'm Marisa Martinez. I just got married. It's still a thing. I'm still getting used to that. I just got done breaking down that's incorrect. We just discussed how the pandemic is affecting ASI and how they work. I'm joined by my co-host Tahiti Salinas and our special guest Diana Chavez, the ASI president. Tahiti, why don't you take it from here about the future of ASI?
Yes, of course. Alrighty. So, and this was just, for personal, I know that you did mention that you are a senior. So what are your goals after graduating from Cal State LA?
Good question. So my goals after graduating Cal State LA is actually getting my master's in public policy. I've always had my eyes on law school, but, eventually becoming a lawyer and stuff like that. But, ASI has really introduced me to the world of public policy. ASI did provide, myself and ASI members opportunities, to travel to the Capitol, to, lobby for certain assembly bills and stuff like that. And I fell in love with the world of public policy, and so I finally decided that through this experience with ASI, I do want to get my master's in public policy, and then from there go to law school and eventually become hopefully our next congresswoman or anything like that. I do want to be in, whether it's the state or federal Congress, but hopefully the next AOC, right? She's truly a big role model for me. And I think for many Latinas out there who are interested in public policy, I really do look up to AOC, and hopefully, maybe not the next AOC, but maybe the next Diana Chavez, So those are my plans.
Wow, that sounds really great. That really does sound super.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that too. We definitely need more women in Congress and up there, that are making those decisions and, really, advocating for everybody else. I feel like we definitely need more women up there. Well, then, and that being said, do you have anybody that you look up to, idolize, maybe even if it's just personally, or if it's, anybody who you mentioned, anybody who you look up to, or maybe even in school?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's three people, and those three is AOC, which we want Alessandra Ocasio-Cortez. She is a representative from New York, and then it is the previous president of ASI, Jackie Acosta, and then it's actually my mom. What can you do without your mother? And the way I see this is because I've never met any powerful woman in my life than those three that I just mentioned. AOC, she's just amazing. She's really outdone herself. She's the youngest congresswoman to ever be, you know, um, in Congress and anything like that. And it's just really powerful because, being a Latina myself, being born and raised in LA, you just, you know, and you just don't think of that, you just like, I don't want, I don't want to, you don't think about going to Congress and anything like that. And AOC has really, really been a role model for myself, because I never thought about public policy until, she became on the news, and then I, started going through this thing with ASI and public policy and stuff like that. So she is powerful, and she does not let anyone talk her down. Whether it's a man or another woman or anything. She is really powerful, and I just love her. And then the previous president of ASI, Jackie Acosta, she's truly amazing. She has taught me so much about ASI and policies and resolution. When you're in ASI, we do work on a lot of policies, and then we work on resolutions, whether it is a resolution in support of international students or if it's a resolution, in support of the Black Lives Matter movement or anything like that. Our previous president, Jackie Acosta, she was truly a work of art. She knew how to write, she knew how to advocate, she knew how to talk. And from the beginning, when I joined ASI in 2018, she was my direct report at that time. So she has taught me so much, how to be an advocate, how to be, a Latina in a world full of white men. Because it's just different. It's a cultural shock. ASI, I don't even think ASI has ever had a Latina ASI president. Looking back in the years, it's always whether been a male or, no matter, it's always been male. It's always been dominated by males. And then there's been some few, women in ASI presidency, but I don't think there has been like an ASI elected Latina president, who's been elected by the students. And if there has, it's been a while. So it really does. I really do get the sense of like belonging, and at school and in ASI. Like I really do feel passionate about this, and Jackie Acosta has really mentored me so much, and I really do appreciate all her work. And then my mom, she's truly a role model to me because of how strong she is, and she always makes sure that I'm healthy, whether it's mentally or physically. She's truly my support system. She's my right hand, for anything. Although she may not understand what I'm doing right now, I try to explain my best to her. But from coming at a young age from Mexico, being an immigrant, being undocumented, she may not know what I'm doing, but I still talk to her. I still let her know what I'm doing, and to my best of my knowledge, to explain in Spanish. And she's still there. She's like, Mija, although I don't understand, I know you're doing great. Don't worry about whoever tells you this, or if whether people are attacking you. Just remember, you're strong, you're Latina, you're my daughter. I'm like, I am my mom's daughter. You're right, and it's just like continuing to have these, positive thoughts, these positive vibes around me. Especially because I'm home now. It's very important that I have, this relationship with my mom, because she's really my right hand and she supports me through everything. So they're my three big role models, and that's who I look up to.
That's great. Honestly, it's great that you're surrounded by so many women, so many strong women that have been able to put you in the right direction, and that you found your path and what you want to do. That's honestly amazing and really great. So that being said, with ASI and everything, where could students contact you or find out what ASI is up to, or any of that sort?
Yeah, so we do have our ASI website. Just go CalState ASI. You click on the first link, and then you go to the top right margin. You click it, and it says About Us. You click Member Directory, and then I have my ASI president email right there. And then I also have so email is mainly the main tool to communicate with me. Then I have my personal social media that I do use for ASI business as well. So My personal social Instagram account, that's what I use to contact student organizations, or any student clubs. If I see like, I do follow a lot of clubs and organizations. So if I ever see like, a post about tuition or fees, or a post about international students, I just reach out to them. Hey, this is what I know, or I'm creating a town hall. Come check it out. So my personal Instagram account is another tool that students can come and reach out to me. But another thing is that ASI is still conducting town halls. We have one in August 6th. So I guess another way to communicate is coming to our events. Hearing what we have to say, and that's how you get in contact with the ASI representatives as well. So those are the three main things that students can use to contact me: email, my Instagram account, and town halls or events that we host.
All right, that's great. Thank you for being here, and thank you for coming on to Time to Talk with us. Thanks for listening, Golden Eagles. This has been Time to Talk, the show that deals with Cal State LA campus issues. I want to thank my co-host, Marisa Martinez, and our guest, Diana Chavez, for being here with me today. For University Times and Golden Eagle Radio, I'm Tahiti Salinas. Stay safe, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.